everyone, I'm Clem and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the different books I've read during the month of October. And actually, October was a pretty good month. I managed to read 7 books, which is way more than what I thought I would read during the month. But I mean, it was pretty sure that I was going to read more because I had a 2 weeks break at the end of October, which gave me time to read a lot. Now, let me show you the books I've read. The first book I'm going to mention is Pumpkin Field by Rainbow Rowell. So this is a graphic novel she published last year or 2 years ago, I don't really remember. And in this graphic novel, you're following 2 best friends and they work in a pumpkin field during the autumn, like during October. And so that's why I wanted to read this book during this season, because in the book they're doing everything I want to do right now, or I wanted to do in October, because now I'm more in a Christmas mood. But when I was in my autumn and spooky mood, I wanted to go to a pumpkin field so bad, to carve pumpkin, to, I don't know, eat a lot of food and just have fun with my friends. But unfortunately, I live in France and I couldn't do all that, so it was really nice to be able, in a way, to do it throughout those 2 characters. And so, as I said, those 2 characters are working, and it's the last night of the festival they're working out, and it will be the last year they work here, because next year they're going to university. And the guy is actually in love with a girl who's working at the festival, and so his best friend decides to take him to talk to her, because it's the last time he will be able to do it. And so they go through the whole festival and they're having an amazing time. And I loved how the attempt to talk to a crush turned into an amazing night between those 2 best friends. Of course, I'm not going to talk about what's happening at the end because it will be a spoiler, but I was really surprised, but in a good way, because I really enjoyed it. In the end, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars because it was really cute and really nice to read it during fall. Next, this month, I listened to my audiobook of the month, and it was The Dark Woman by Kristen Lynn Herman, and this is the second book that comes after The Devouring Grey and also the conclusion to this duology. So, if you don't know what is this duology about, you're following 4 or 5 kids. I think there's 5 of them, teenagers, and they live in Fourpath, which is a small and quiet town in the middle of, I don't remember which state. And at the beginning of the first one, Violet, her name is Violet, yes, she's moving to this town, and she discovered that actually there is something weird in the town. And she learns that actually there is a beast living in the grey, and the grey is like this invisible force that prevents the beast from going out and killing people. And actually in the town also you have founders, and the founders were given special powers to protect the town from the beast. And Violet, I hope she's named Violet, is one of the founders, and she's going to find that actually she has a power too. So in the second one, I had forgot most of the story, from the first one, because I couldn't find a good recap online, so I went pretty blind in the story. But the author reminded us pretty well what happened and anything we needed to know in order to fully understand the situation. So it was really great. This book was nice, but the ending was really predictable. It was really a classic. I don't even know what genre it is. It is fantasy or magic realism, I'm not sure. But I saw some of the plot holes, not plot holes, like plot twists or like cliffhangers coming, because it was predictable, but it was not that bad. Like, it wasn't boring, it was enjoyable. There's one thing that's happening at the end that I really liked, and this is something I didn't really see coming, and I enjoyed that. But what I like the most about this duology is the Vampire Diaries vibes there is in those 2 books, because I don't know, when I read it, I see Vampire Diaries, okay, because it's happening in a small town with founders, and the founders are really important, but they are also hiding stuff, they have secrets, and I like that, just like in Vampire Diaries. And Vampire Diaries was one of my favorite series of all time. Like, I cried like a baby when it ended. So I like that this book like remind me of this series. It was really enjoyable. So throughout the month, I read The Witcher, the first book, which is The Last Wish by, please don't make me say his name again, because I can't say it, it's Polish and there are way too many consonants and I can't say it. But I'm sure you've heard of The Witcher, even if it's just on Netflix or because you heard about the video game. And I played the video games and I watched the TV series on Netflix, and I fell in love with the universe and the characters, and so I had to read the books, and I read the first one and it was really great. So if you don't know anything about The Witcher, this is happening in a fantasy world where there are witches, and witches are humans, but they were modified genetically, and they have powers, but they're not really like not human. They're like an hybrids, and it's really weird. And they are like they don't really like by society, and their job is basically to kill monsters in order to protect humans. And so you're following Geralt, and Geralt is one of the last few witches on Earth, and you're following him throughout time. That's basically all I can say. So to be honest, this book took me way longer to read than what I had envisioned, because I thought I was going to read this in like 1 week or two, but actually I read it throughout the month. Not because it was bad, just because I couldn't focus, and every time I picked the book or any book for a period in the month, I fell asleep. So it was complicated to read, but I managed to finish it and I really liked it. What I liked is also the writing style, because it was very simple and very clear. Like, you understand pretty much everything, even if it's a new world with a bunch of new creatures and a new political system and also a new magic system. It's really easy to understand and I liked that. Also, I was surprised with how close the story and the events are from the TV series, though I think the timeline is way more complicated in the books, because you have the same events but not necessarily at the same time. I think they made it simpler in the TV series, because I think if you read the book like that, I have a lot of questions. I'm not sure when things are happening, but I'm like, I will understand at some point. I don't need to know everything now. And also I was waiting for my favorite character Yennefer to appear, and she only comes in the last chapter, even though everyone is talking about her throughout the book. I was like, can I see her? Can she come? Can she be here? I need to see her to learn more about her. And then she arrived and was like, yay, Yennefer is in the place, and I was really happy. So I ordered the second book for Christmas. I hope I will get it, because I really need to continue this series. Also this month I read my classic for the month, and I've read The Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. It's a book I wanted to read for a long time, and I finally did it, and let me tell you, I was disappointed. So yeah, this book was not at all what I thought it was going to be, and I thought it was going to be better, but actually it wasn't. And what really disappointed me in the book is that it's not happening between closed doors. Like, the whole thing, when you read the synopsis, you think it's going to happen during an Halloween party where a kid is found dead in, like, doing apple picking, like somebody drowned her in the apple picking basket. And so she's found dead because she said she had seen a murder when she was younger. And so I thought everything was going to happen during the Halloween party, and that it was going to be just like most of the Hercule Poirot's book, between closed door, but actually it wasn't. And I was really disappointed with that, because without being closed door, the investigation happened after the Halloween party. The murderers were like completely disconnected from what happened during the Halloween party, and I don't know, it was messy at some part, and I was like, okay, like, what I love is like when Poirot comes and say, okay, now I'm going to tell you what happened and who murdered the person, and this is my favorite part. And I didn't have that in this one, because he was doing his little investigation, talking about like the clues he found, interviewing people. At some point there is like half a chapter just about gardens in the world, and I was like, what's the point with the story? I want to know who killed the girl. And yeah, really it wasn't as good as what I thought, so I'm a bit disappointed about that. Is there something I liked? No. I mean, I liked, the story was like good, but not amazing. So yeah, I can't wait to read another Hercule Poirot where everything is happening in between closed doors, because they're the best. This month I also read 2 mangas, and I think in English they're called The Wizard's Workshop, but I'm not sure. Basically I'm just translating the title from French to English, but I have no clue. I will try to find if it exists in English. But it was the 3rd book and the 4th book in the series. And actually I don't really know what to tell you about it, because I've talked about the first one and the second one I've read previously this year, but I can't really tell you anything without spoiling the story, and I don't really want to do that. But the 3rd one was good, but honestly I also had forgotten so many stuff about the previous one. Like I opened the book and I was like, why are we here? What happened before? And I was like, oh yeah, I completely forgotten most of the story. And I have a problem with the 2 books I've read, because at the beginning of the series you're told that you're going to follow the young girl Coco, who is going to go to this wizard workshop in order to learn to be a witch, because she used forbidden magic at the beginning of the book and she turned a mother into stone, and so she needs to learn magic in order to turn her mother back. And I thought the whole story was going to be focused around this girl, but actually it's not. In the 3rd book and the 4th book you're actually focusing on another witch, and I was like, it's nice, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. And honestly I have to tell you, the girl like we're focusing on the 4th book is so annoying. Like I don't like her. She doesn't like doing magic, and you're following her and you're like, girl, you can do magic, it's pretty extraordinary, and you're like, yeah, I'm bored, it's just magic, like I can't do anything with it. Can you be happy? Everyone of us wants to have magic, so please be happy to have the chance to do magic. So yeah, it was nice, though I really want to know where the story is going to go, because from the beginning we're talking about this brotherhood of bad guys and they keep coming but they're not really doing anything, and I'm like, can you do something? I need to see people fight. I need some action, okay? I need some stuff to happen, because right now I have too many questions and you're not doing anything to answer them. And last but not least, I read my ultimate spooky read for the month, and it was the 2nd book in the Anna Caritas series called The Damned, or it's a book only written in French because it's from an author that's from Quebec. So I really liked it. I'd read the first one last October, and basically it's happening in a small town in Quebec called I don't remember, Saint something, and mainly the action is taking place in middle school or an high school called Anna Caritas. And so at the beginning of the first one, you can sense that in the city, like it's not even a city, it's a town, there is something weird happening. And at the beginning of the school year, a former student comes back. Her name is Marianne, and she was accused of killing her parents. So everything was like, why is she doing here? And from the moment she comes back, weird stuff starts to happening in the town, and they have to deal with possession and demons and ghosts. And a lot of things happened. It was really spooky and at some point scary, because I don't like ghosts. Actually, this one is completely different. It's still scary and spooky, but it was another register. It had nothing to do with ghosts or like possession or demons, but with a sect. And I loved it because it was so creepy, because like I don't know, it's so something that could happen in real life. And also, like, at some point the main character discovered that in the forest that surround their city, can you already see there's a forest surrounding the city? It's creepy. There is an old village that's destroyed and people are hanged in the village, and you're like, I would have run away as soon as I saw the village. I would say, oh no, I'm not going there, I'm going to die. And okay, people died actually there, so I was right. So I really liked it. I hadn't really realized how I was actually anticipating this book. There's a third book in the what I think is a trilogy. I'm going to keep it for next October. I hope I'm going to be able to like wait because I really like it. It's a really good, scary, young adult series. It's not that scary, but I don't know, the mood is well built, if I can say so. Like, you're not really at ease like when you read it. You always have something like, because at some point the character, he can feel that someone's watching him, but you never know what it is, and you're like, that is weird, I don't like that. So yeah, it was perfect to read this book during the spooky season. Exactly what I needed. Scary, but not that much. And yeah, perfect way to conclude the month. So yeah guys, that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to tell me in the comments down below what you've read, or if you have any spooky recommendation. I know we have to wait. I'm going to wait 1 year before reading really spooky books, but it's still good to start early so I can choose which book I'm going to read next October. Also, don't forget to like this video if you liked it and to subscribe to my channel if it's not already done. And I will see you next month. Bye guys!